have some microphones wandering out into the crowd, so start thinking of questions. But
I can predict a few by saying that is my son Jude. Who would be here right now, but he's asleep, so because he's a little kid. And that is my house also, which is here in Chicago. And you can't, I would invite you all over, but we wouldn't fit.
And we'd wake up your son.
Yeah, that's right. But we did, all that tiki stuff really was there when we bought the house. I feel like my wife and I are part of the Chicago Historical Society now. So I'm on a mission to preserve it for at least another 100 years.
I guess the first question I'm thinking is, one of the very last credits on here was shot on Kodak. After shooting so many years on video, why now?
Because it might be too late. I mean, I went to Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, which was a very old school film school, and we weren't allowed to shoot on video. I mean, all of my film school stuff was 16 millimeter, cut on flatbeds, conforming my own negative, finishing the film prints. And then when I got out of school, it was just so much more affordable to shoot video. And in the 10 years since I've been out of school, I mean, it's really, film's basically died right in front of us. And even the lab that we got our negative processed at in Seattle has gone out of business in the years since we shot the movie. I mean, it's really the tail end. Yeah. So I wanted to do it one more time. I wanted to have that experience one more time. And my cinematographer, Ben Richardson, he shot Drinking Buddies, my previous movie, and he also shot Beasts of the Southern Wild. And they shot that on film. So we basically used the same camera setup. So, it was sort of very easy workflow that he already understood from Beasts. And so, I'm going to try and shoot film a few more times.
Well, I mean, it looks great.
Before
so
it's too late.
Please keep it going.
Could you talk a little bit about the festival experience and taking this to Sundance?
Yeah, sure. I've premiered a lot of my stuff at South by Southwest in Austin, and I had been to Sundance before. I did a movie called Uncle Kent that premiered at Sundance, and then I was part of a horror anthology called VHS, which also premiered at Sundance. And, it's an interesting festival, and I feel like the whole indie film world's calendar is scheduled around trying to get your movie to Sundance in January. So they've taken some of my films, they've rejected some of my films. It's always nice when they take them. And it was really fun. We brought Jude with us. He hammed it up for the cameras. The audiences are just really nice. I mean, it's cool to get to show it here. I just got home from Sundance a few days ago, so it's nice to have this sort of extension of the festival.
We'd like to open it up for the audience. So if you've got a question, raise your hand, and either myself or Dave will come running out to get you.
Hello.
Hi.
So I was curious about the film thing. I know you shoot with scripts that are essentially just here's a list of scenes, here's what's going to happen in the scene, no dialogue. Was shooting with film, did that kind of restrict the sort of off-the-cuff shooting method that you usually are comfortable with?
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, we shot it the exact same way. It's interesting, once, you hear money rolling through the camera, basically. So we really, in a sense, it made us get more deliberate about certain choices. But the actors aren't immune to that either. I think, I talked to them about it, and they said that actually, the knowledge that we were shooting on film sort of had made them bring their A game right from the beginning, because they didn't want to be the one who was screwing up. We only budgeted for a 4-to-1 shooting ratio. So, that if we shot 5 takes of something, it meant we only got 3 of another one. We really had to be strategic about it. But I don't shoot. One of the reasons why I was sort of emboldened to try film this time was because I was seeing on the previous productions that I actually wasn't shooting a ton of footage, because I'm also my own editor. So you know, as much as I shoot, that's as much as I'm going to have to sift through later. So I'm doing myself a favor. I'm doing my future self a favor by not shooting endless takes of things. The main, I mean, shooting on film was super fun and great. The main sort of scariness of it was taking 3 days worth of footage and putting it in a FedEx box and shipping it to Seattle, and not, you know, just sort of like holding our breath until we got the phone call that it had arrived and that everything was okay. But even that was kind of exciting, you know? I mean, I remember when you used to shoot still photos on film, and you know, you'd take pictures over like 2 months, and then you'd go get the film developed, and you would have sort of forgotten some of the things that you had photographed, and there was a little bit of that like magic back in the process of it.
Cool. And actually, before we go too far, so we don't forget, we saw a trailer for your film that's opening up here next week.
Yeah.
4 exposures. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure, I would love to. So it's Adam Wingard and Simon Barrett are the stars of that movie. Who they wrote and directed a movie called You're Next, which I acted in, and they were also VHS collaborators. And so it's like a early '90s Cinemax softcore erotic thriller. It's probably a lot like the book they're writing in Happy Christmas. And yeah, it's just started trickling out. So it'll be here. It opens here next Friday, right?
Yep.
A week from tomorrow. Yeah, it's sort of a very inspired by Scramble Vision and sort of like staying up too late and watching USA Up All Night. I feel like every guy my age knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was a great smattering of applause from a very specific age group here.
Well, that aesthetic is so cheesy now, but I feel like it's worth dealing with because it informed like my entire generation's sexuality. Was that like soft focus, foggy, sort of long blonde hair, fake boobs kind of thing. I'm trying to get away from it, but it's obviously still rattling around in there somewhere.
Congratulations again on everything with this film. I got really great buzz coming out of the festival, and I guess my question is for you, now that you've premiered, you know, it's been accepted into several festivals for several films and not been accepted as you said. For you as a filmmaker and an artist, what is your gauge of success now in terms of for you personally?
I mean, you know, I'm just trying to like go to bed happy every night. I mean, my real aims are pretty low in terms of that kind of stuff. But then that's hard. I mean, that's a real challenge. I'm trying to get better about just making sure that the projects I'm doing are the things I want to be doing. Often it's exciting when other people want you, and then I'm sort of like jumping. I've been guilty of jumping into things just because I was happy to be there. And so I'm able to be a little bit more deliberate these days about the stuff that I'm choosing. And, you know, I mean, it's really, it's about audiences too. I mean, I feel like especially having a kid was a big change for me as a filmmaker, because I used to, you know, I used to just have every night of the week free to do whatever I want. And now that I'm a parent, and now that like going out to see a movie means getting a babysitter and sort of organizing that in a different way, I've become curmudgeon-y about the movies that I'm seeing, and like they better be good if I'm going to spend all this money and make all this effort. And it's really infected me as a filmmaker too. I appreciate the audience's time in a different way now. So I think that's becoming another gauge of success. Is like, are the things that I'm interested in saying actually landing with the people who are coming to see the movie?